Right folks, and welcome back. So it's another weekend. Yesterday we were going to get the gable clad with tin, but it was Saturday and it started raining at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was absolutely torrential rain till after lunch. James and Mitchell were up here helping, but we had to do inside work because it just wasn't fair. It was too wet. So we knocked off about 12:30. I went to see a tractor at a neighbour's that was up for sale. Absolutely got drowned trying to look at that and negotiate over that. So got another box of parts that got delivered, don't know, yesterday afternoon at some point. I don't even know what that is. I think that's something for the solar system. So it's really wet. So what we've been doing is we've been wiring up this shed. So I'll turn the camera around. So what we've been doing is wiring the inverters in. So obviously you need big heavy duty cables. You have to crimp the lugs on each end. You know, so it's not just cables shoved in a hole, it's proper crimped battery cables, the same as you would do on a car or a lorry. So these are our bus bars, these links power in distributors. So we've got all the solar panels and the wind turbine going into this one. Got battery cut-off switches. We do have a shunt coming, which will be like a battery monitoring system that will sit there, that will tell us the state of charge and everything. And I think it is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled. This distributor here is running the inverters. I do have a separate battery charger. These will charge the batteries, but I have a separate battery charger for a 48 volt forklift system that I'll probably end up wiring in, just so if we are having problems I can just run a spare generator just to kind of push these batteries up, especially when we're starting the system off. Been a lot of questions over this, especially on Facebook. So basically the solar panels will be on the roof and they'll come down, and because they're DC they're coming in that trunking along the top. So 12 panels will go into one combiner box. So there'll be 12 panels. 3 of them will be wired in, they're going to be wired in parallel and wired in series. So 3 will be wired together. So it'll be 3 going in there, 3, 3, 3, that gives us 12. That combiner box has got, it's fused, so it's got like DC fuses, and then it's got surge protection. So it's got an earth cable coming out to the earth block, then to the earth stake, so if there's any lightning or anything, it doesn't blow our equipment up. It's quite important. Most people don't incorporate surge protection. Now then, this is an MPPT, so it's a multi-point tracking solar charge controller. So it optimizes the charging. What we've seen with the other system is that you're still getting power for the solar panels in the middle of the night with these MPPT solar charge controllers. So they're basically making the most of any electric that's being produced and pushing it into the batteries and pushing that charge. So this is basically one system for 12 solar panels, another system for 12 solar panels, and another system. This is a smaller charge controller, it's only a 60 amp. But nevertheless, so this one is going to be running a bank of solar panels on the side of the shed roof that will do the winter sun. This is the wind turbine charge controller. I need to work out how we're putting the wind turbine up, if we're putting a mast at the end of the building, or that's another project and it's another expense. These are going into the distributors that are coupled together, that then go down into the batteries to the battery fuses, 250 amp battery fuse. And then we've got the power out cables coming to, that's a Outback inverter, the cover's off just now. And this is the controller for it, so we can control like charging, etc. So the intention is, this one will be connected to the Lister Startomatic, the old fashioned generator that's only 3 kVA, so it's ideally matched to this. This big beast of an inverter is just running the workshop, so that's only running the workshop. People keep asking about that. It's just so I can weld and so we can run bigger equipment and like a 3-phase inverter. So this will be coupled to the big Hyundai generator. That's the current generator that we're using. So it'll be on an auto start, auto stop, the same as that. So if we are struggling with power, which I don't think we will be, it will charge the system. And this Phoenix inverter, which is just an inverter, that is going to be running the bothy. So we've got the cables coming out, so that's the workshop inverter. So cables are coming out, 16mm tails. They're going into our little garage consumer unit. You'll see those wires hanging out just now. That's because I'm wiring everything up. So I'm doing the lights, the sockets and a radial circuit. This is the inverter for the bothy, so 5 kVA, 6mm cable coming out. I'm waiting for cut-off switches that I've bought off eBay. They'll come this week. Get the cut-off switches, and then we'll get the armoured cable so it goes out to the consumer unit, and there'll be another cable coming off the outback that'll be coming up here. Cut-off switch, armoured cable, out to the caravan. I don't know if any of that makes any sense, because my God, when I tried to learn this stuff, it was complicated. So then we've got our lighting. So what we've got a single radial circuit coming from the consumer unit off the 6 amp breaker over to here. It's coming straight to the switch because this isn't a house, so you wire it slightly differently. Straight to the switch. That goes up. We've got a cable running up the roof. Where is it? Oh, there. Running up the roof to the first pendant. Now we're not using pendants, but I'm using those as a wiring junction box. So I'm using them as a way of connecting the wires. So that switch works, that light there, and that light down the bottom there. I've got strip lights, big, I think the 5-foot LED strip lights coming off eBay. So they'll clip onto the beam, and then there'll be a flex that will go out of that junction box. So forget that's a pendant, that's a junction box. It was just a tidy way of doing it without putting a pattress and having to buy stuff. It was stuff I'd got in my junk pile. So what we'll have is that switch over there will work 3 lights. Eventually the other, you see that's a double switch, the other switch will work a floodlight on the outside. I've not done the rest yet. So then we're going to run another radial from the consumer unit over and a double switch. One doing a light over the workbench there and doing 3, we're going to have 3 strip lights over where the Land Rover is because this is going to be our workshop bay. Then we're going to have 2 separate strip lights just in the other 2 bays, just to light the building up, but concentrating, so we'll have 4 lights here. We'll use additional floodlights if we need to, but 4 lights. We're going to run sockets around this part of the building on a ring main. So just basically a loop going round all the sockets and back like you do. We have run a 2.5mm cable from the consumer unit along this beam. You'll see it. We need to pull it a bit tighter, a few more cable clips and stuff. We've just got it on these zip tie blocks just now. I quite like these. So these are a plastic block. You buy 100 of them for about £7 off eBay. You screw it onto the beam, put a cable tie through it. And if you put the cable tie loose enough, you can just keep pulling cable through and then zip them up at the end. So I've got that running high up just so it doesn't get caught, so vermin don't chew it. And I've got that running down just now. You'll see we've got the switch for the roller shutter door, but for the last 4 years, that's just been running off an extension cable because I never got around to doing this. So this is a radial, it's not a ring main because we don't need that much power. You know, the maximum load here will ever be about 3.5 kilowatts, so we can run that on a radial, although, you know, radial circuits aren't that common in modern wiring. We've got a double socket here, and eventually when I wire the roller shutter door in, I'll just put a fused spur there with a flexi cord outlet and have that coming out, just clip it up. So that's what we've got. So spent quite a lot of time doing this. It's just not easy because, you know, you're up on the beams. It would have been a lot easier if I'd run the cables before I put the roof on, but you never think, do you? So this is what we're concentrating on just now. It's just wet day jobs, but let me know what you think, folks. But this off-grid power system's getting there. I'm hoping a few weeks' time it'll look a lot tidier and hopefully get it commissioned and in use. So our mystery box is a Victron battery shunt. Got this a while ago off eBay, it's took a while to come. Where was it? So these are a few £100, you have to buy the bits separately. I think they're £200 or £300 with the monitor, and they don't come with that box. So obviously somebody's knocked this all up together, and the temperature sensor. So I think this goes on the neutral, the negative, heading back for the battery bank, and then you put your data cable in, and you just mount this where you want to monitor the batteries. With us, it'll probably just buy the battery equipment, you know. It's too far to put it in the house, so that's fell out of there, but I'll put all this back together and see what it looks like. We've paid 70 quid delivered for this, so it's worth looking at eBay for a second-hand kit, because that's a bargain. Right, so the new Victron shunt and battery monitor that came today, fitted it there, got the data cable running down the conduit. There was a ridiculous amount of data cable with it. I might just get a smaller cable because that looks daft. So this is the shunt. It goes on the DC side. Not too sure why, but that's the way it goes. There's a power cable goes in there, connects to the AC. I'm not happy with these battery fuses I've bought. There's not a good way of mounting them. They're too shoddy. So I've ordered a proper Victron one. Quite expensive, but I just want to get it mounted properly there, so and get the power in, power out. I'll put a 240 volt socket there. I need to cable clip it to the wood. It's only running a little heater that's about 150 watts. It's just a little bathroom greenhouse heater. It'll just be on frost setting, just to keep the batteries from going cold. If they drop below 4 degrees, then lead acid batteries don't charge, they don't take the charge, so you're just wasting money for the generator maybe running in the winter to keep them topped up, and they're not charging. So this battery box is insulated with 2 inches of Celotex. I think it's got 250 ml of Rockwool in the floor. It's got an air vent out the back, just if there's a build-up of gases. I'm going to try and put some sort of fan on there. I don't know what I need. I'll ask some advice on Facebook probably, and I'll get 100 different answers. I don't think a bathroom fan's right, because that would sense on humidity. I need something if there's a build-up of, I think it's sulphur gas that comes off batteries. So yeah, need to work out what we're going to do with that. It is vented, but I don't want the gases coming in here and something sparking. I want them going outside where they're vented to the outside. Right folks, so as if I didn't need any more projects, and I really didn't need any more projects, we've bought another tractor today. No intention of buying anything, but this was local. This was literally on a small holding a quarter of a mile away from here, same postcode. It's a local tractor from New. It's been on one farm from New. A neighbour bought it to kind of fix it up and use it, and he's kind of sold it because he's a bit like me, he's got too many projects. So I've only bought it because it's got a really good engine. It looks worse than it is. It's been on an estate, a dairy farm, so it's been main work tractor, slurry scraping tractor. I believe the clutch went, and then it's just been on a slurry pump. It starts first flick of the key, and I'll put a video in a minute. Engine's spot on. I've put a jam jar over the exhaust so it doesn't seize until we can get it in a shed. So what I'm looking for one pretty much the same with a knackered engine, because to me that makes sense. I paid £800 for this. It weighs 2.5 tonne, so it's scrap price. So if I get the engine out and I make something else good, then I'm on a winner. But you know, I said to Heather, do we buy it, do we not? And she said, yeah, we love buying junk. Even the cat loves it. Look, she's got a nice dry seat to go and sleep in. I'll let it go and lick the battery. Look at this. See, if you go through the door, you'll get in. Idiot. That's it. See, it's a model with full air conditioning, you know. The wind goes through one door and back out the other. It's in really good condition. It just needs a wee spot of welding. But I don't even think that's the right key for it. I don't know if that's an international key or not. No, that's not an international key. But yeah, I'll stick a video in now of it running, but it runs perfect. But if anybody knows of a tractor, an international tractor, 685, 785, 885, doesn't matter if it's 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, one with a seized engine or a cracked block, I will buy it. I'm in the business of buying one.